She said, why don't you like him and why doesn't he like you?
Oh, I can't speak for him. I mean, it's funny because now he's going to be a man of few words. I'm going to look like the heel in this thing. That's what's going to happen here. You know, I'm in a hard place here. Yeah, we're just, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that have been said. I mean, I'm a bad ambassador for the sport, and he doesn't agree with my attitude. My win over GSP was a fluke. I could, you know, there's a few right there. You know, I don't know. Run season 2, go to season 4, and get halfway through season 6. If you don't agree with me, I probably wouldn't like you either.
This question's for Matt Hughes. Is this on?
Yes.
Okay. Matt, the only fighter I know of that you really had bad blood with before Matt Serra was Frank Trigg. How would you compare the animosity for those two? And did the Trigg experience help you at all in terms of preparing for this fight? Did you learn anything from that?
You know, I don't know if I learned anything from my Frank Trigg experience on what he had to say and how he said things. But the feeling I get from both of them is very comparable, very much alike. So it takes me down that road to where, you know, it's actually pretty good for me. Here I've had 50 fights and everything sometimes gets stale for me. But fighting somebody like Matt, who has a dislike for me and said what he has said about me, it's a great motivation for me. So, you know, it's got me in the gym early. It's got me in the gym more often. And it's actually been pretty good for me, you know, since I'm so comfortable in this sport anymore.
Yeah, this question's for Matt over here. At UFC 96 in Columbus, you did the Q&A before the weigh-in, and you were a little derogatory towards Las Vegas. You said that it was not your kind of town and that you didn't really like it. What about Las Vegas don't you like?
Sounds like Obama.
DW, don't compare me to that guy. I'm not a nightlife guy. I generally go to bed 9 o'clock every night. I do gamble a little bit, but I'm not a club guy. I'm a farm guy. You know, this is the exact opposite from my farm. So I could pick anything, and it's about the opposite of what I'm from and what I'm used to.
This question is for Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans, did you bring in anybody specific to help you train for Lyoto Machida's unique fighting style?
You know, I brought in a few different people. One being Stephen Wonderboy Thompson out of South Carolina. He has like a karate style, and a lot of my training partners, they can switch it up pretty well and give me a good look as well. So, you know, not too much, but then at the same time, you know, I didn't think I really.
Dana, you mentioned that there have been lots of rivalries in the UFC, some perhaps manufactured. Where would you place this one with the two Matts? I mean, you see them more than we do.
No, this is a good one. Like I said, this is probably right up at the top. You know, obviously, like we said before, Matt didn't like Trigg either, and the result of that were 2 great fights. You know, the manufacturer stuff, I'm sure you're talking about Ken and Tito. You could never tell when they were, you know, when they were and when they weren't. Yeah, I put this up at the top. This is definitely one of the biggest ones, especially where the guys have been so vocal, and you know, it's usually behind the back. These two do it to the face, you know, when they're not together and everything else. There's no secret these two hate each other.
And with the main event, do you expect that will reflect in the pay-per-view buy?
Say that again?
As well as the main event, do you think that the antagonism in the co-main event is going to contribute to the pay-per-view buys for this one?
I certainly hope so.
This question is for Lyoto. In your last fight, you grew in the eyes of the fans. Are you trying to be more aggressive to please the fans, or you don't care what they think about your style? You go there, do your job, and eventually the results you make the fans respect you and like you.
Não, meu objetivo é sempre agradar os meus fãs, né? Porque isso aqui é um entretenimento, então eu vejo como um lado profissional, né? Então uma melhora cada vez mais, eu estou pensando em melhorar para ganhar mais fãs, para que as pessoas possam entender meu estilo.
my main priority is always to go out there and please my fans. I keep going out there and getting more and more aggressive. I feel more comfortable inside of there, and that's what my main concern is, to go out there and put on a show. This is my job. I'm a professional, and I want to go out there and put on good performances.
Dana, we had heard that Mike Pyle might be on standby this weekend. Do you plan on using him in a fight this weekend?
I hope not. That'll mean somebody else gets hurt and somebody falls out. So hopefully he gets to just come out here and hang out and watch a fight.
Did you have a specific fighter in mind? Was there the possibility that one of the guys on the card might be?
Honestly, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you the answer to that.
Okay.
You guys are shy and quiet today. What's going on in here? I all want one-on-ones. No more questions? We're going to be here for a long time today, aren't we?
This is just for curiosity. I think everybody has this curiosity. I want to know what you think, what all of you guys think when you're walking towards the octagon, what goes through your mind those minutes before the let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
Matt, you start. Hughes.
Explain the question to me.
She said she wants to know what's going through your mind when you get out there, you walk out through the crowd, you get in there, and they say, all right, let's go, and it's time to fight.
Two different emotions. When you're walking through the crowd, you're still relaxed, easy going, you're taking it all in. When you finally come in the octagon, the door gets shut, you know, that's a whole different set of emotions. Typically what goes through my mind is, you know, that opponent across from me actually comes into my house thinking he's going to beat me. So it gets very heated in my mind to where, you know, this guy thinks he's going to come in there and beat me in my own game. So I mean, the emotion of walking through the crowd is easy going, but it's all business when you get in the octagon and you get going.
For me, I'm pretty much similar. You know, you get the nerves before you go out there. You know, sometimes you're like, man, this is really going down. But once you get into the octagon, it kind of changes, and then your body remembers, and then it just, you know, everything kind of gets very, very clear, and you get very, very focused. And you know, like for me, I'm just thinking, well, I'm just gonna go in here and just compete hard as I can and just have fun. And then it's the shit, you know, it just goes down.
Nesse momento eu apenas não penso. Minha cabeça já está totalmente vazia e o meu foco é só em cima do que eu posso fazer e do meu adversário. Então, meu pensamento é vazio.
At that moment, I don't really have anything going through my head. 100% of my mind is focused on climbing into the octagon and focused on the fight and my opponent. So as I'm walking through the crowd, I'm pretty much, my mind is blank and I'm just focused on the opponent.
I try to enjoy it, you know, all the hard work is done, all the months of training, and now it's, you know, it's time to have some fun, you know. When I get in there, it's another hardcore sparring session, which is bad intentions.